First of all, you're not ready to do the walls until you have this glued on your foundation and you have your permit approved and on the back. And once you have the permit and your name all filled out, then you don't have to worry about your name because all this will be cut off, but it'll be right there. All right? And Ms. Campbell's going to either use a paper cutter or blade to cut all the way on the outside because you want to have your walls up, and right where your walls end is where your landscaping should begin. Make sense? All right. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and all I did is basically make a simple floor plan to do a door, a window, double doors, archway, and I'm going to show you how to do bifolds. All right? Now usually I would do a door and a window and get you going on the outside, and then come back and do a couple of the inside because they're a little bit tricky. But I think if we go at a pretty good pace and we have a videotape, you can kind of revisit that, or Ms. Campbell will be able to share with you in a moment. What you'll need is a good sharp pencil. A dull pencil makes for a dull house because it makes for really fat lines, and you actually have to cut a really nice line, and so it'll kind of give you too much wiggly room. You'll need a triangle, but never should the blade and the triangle meet, and you'll need a blade. And I'm not so sure if there'll be one per bench or what the sequence will be. And with the blade, when we talk about in a moment, we only need it out about 2 clips. A 2-clip blade only means about a 2-clip cut. A 10-clip blade means about a 10-clip cut. That makes for a very bad day. All right? So with that, and you'll need your walls. And all these walls begin to look the same. So you might want a rubber band or a pile or a place to put your name on them and identify them. But if you mark on them, then you're also going to have graffiti on your house, right? So find a way to maybe bring out a wall at a time and keep the rest in your locker. If you manage that at the beginning, you'll have a lot easier process. You're going to find out that a pile of lumber like this is going to run into the tens of thousands of dollars. And that's why when somebody's building a house or a garage, they normally have somebody parked outside watching a pile of lumber. Because if that lumber goes somewhere, then they have to resubmit and buy tens of thousands of dollars worth of wood. So it's very expensive. All right. What you want to do is keep your longest pieces as long as you can for as long as you can. All right? And you always want to work from an end in so you don't have all these little pieces. Because those little pieces still cost a few $100s per quarter-inch, don't they? Yeah, you found that out. All right. Triangle. This right here, what angle is this? What degree angle? 90-degree angle. Right? And that's what I want to do my walls. If my walls aren't straight, then I'm going to have gaps, and I'm going to have bugs, and I'm going to have critters in my crib. Okay? And so by having it nice and clean, then my walls are going to be nice and neat, and it's going to be beautiful. So the first thing I always want to do is check with my triangle to make sure it's 90 degrees. Now normally, because these come out of a manufacturer, one side's going to be pretty good, so I'm going to work from that side. And everything I need now is right here in front of me. This is my whole story. For this whole side here, are there any windows or doors? No, it's pretty boring. So there better be a highway or trees or something over there that I don't want to see. And then what I will do for this wall is line up exactly where the house starts, is where I need the wall to start, and come over here, and I would mark with a crow's mouth, a little arrowhead, where I need to cut that. But since it's a straight piece, I'm not going to waste a piece of wood right now. But that might be a first piece for you because my wall starts there and stops there. Do you understand that? All right. What I'm going to do to save us time and teach you the more important part is I'm going to use the one that has a couple of things going on. I have a door and a couple of what? Windows. So I lay my wall in place, making sure that it's 90 degrees. And if it's not, I make sure that the whole triangle is running along the edge. I score a really light line up, like this. And wasting as little as I can, I would cut that piece off with the blade. All right? But since it's straight, I'm going to lay it up against here. And it starts here, not over there. That's another wall, isn't it? See how that wall is already in place? So I have to use what the story tells me. My wall starts there, and it ends here. And I make a little crow's mouth. A little arrowhead so I know exactly where that wall is supposed to start and stop. See that? Using my triangle, making sure it's straight all the way along. I make a light line, making sure I don't have my house underneath. Blade a couple clicks out. First of all, I ride the blade right along the line. Notice I went through pretty easy. Then I'm going to go through a little bit deeper. And then I'm going to finally go through all the way. That way it makes it so it's nice and neat. Then I put it back in place to make sure that it looks pretty good. Look good? Mm-hmm. Now I mark my doors and my windows while it's not moving. You see how I did that? Little line. Then I pull this over here, and I'm going to go through real light. If you did drafting, you would know that you would use a construction line, which disappear basically at arm's length. Mine's going to be a little bit darker. This one's a little shaky, so I'm going to switch it over to make sure it's straight. And all I'm doing is marking where my doors and windows are from side to side. Alright? Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Left to right, then up and down. So I'm going to go back here and double check. That looks pretty good. So I'm ready to go. How far from the ceiling down do I need to come for the door? Do you remember in Windows?
2 feet.
2 feet? Is that right?
3 feet.
3 feet? So my door is 7 feet and my wall is 8 feet. How many squares do I need to come down? 7 feet? No. From the ceiling down, if my door is 7 feet high, how far from an 8-foot ceiling do I need to come down? 1 foot. And do I have 1 foot somewhere on my map? On my floor plan? 1 square equals 1 foot. So I'm going to show you a trick. Alright? My doors and my windows all are 1 foot down from the ceiling. Understand that? So while it's in place, I'm going to go over to the one side, and putting it on a line. I'm going to make a mark at 1 square. Now I could come all the way over here and make another mark at a square and use my triangle, right? But if you're really cool, I mean really cool, you can put your finger, your middle finger on top of the wall, put your pencil right where it's supposed to be, and then you can just glide along. And that works pretty quick. But if you can't trust it, then go like this. So right now I know where my windows and doors are from side to side. I just need to know where my windows are at the bottom, right? And I basically want to come down, and if it's a 1 foot window, I would come down from that mark down 1 foot, or 2 foot, or 3 feet.